What's up, guys? It's the FM Guru. You know I'm back with another video. Let me just straighten this up. What's up, guys? It's your boy, the FM Guru. You know I'm back with another video. I'm the one-stop shop for all your farmers market needs. The FM and FM Guru stands for Farmers Market. I am the Farmers Market Guru. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit the comment section or hit the description box. And today's cider is the sweet and spicy cider. It's very good for if you have any allergies or stomach issues. The way you make it, you just add it to a coffee mug and you fill it with water or milk. This is the sponsor of today's video. Link in the description down below. So today we're gonna talk about what do you do if it's a slow day? So I've had my fair share of slow days. I've had way more good days than I have had slow days. Especially if you go to one of these 8-hour markets, you are going to have slow time periods. So buckle up, I'm gonna just tell you guys what to do. So number one, what you do not do is panic. They happen to everybody. What I want you guys to do at a farmer's market is go for a whole year and see how you do. And that's your baseline. Your first year of how you do is your baseline because it only goes up from there. It could go down depending on the market, but I just want you to go for one whole year to see, okay, this is around what I can expect from this market. When you start expanding and going to other markets, I want you guys just to take note of this market I do good at, that market I don't do good at, and put mental notes of why you do good at this market and why you don't do good at this market. For example, me, I sell herbal cider. I suck at 8-hour markets because for my cider, I sell them with the paper. And with this paper, I have to stop each and every person that's looking at my booth. If they want to try a sample, I have to be sure I explain it to them. Because if I do not explain it to them, they're not going to understand what this is. I've had about 3 or 4 people ask me in my time of doing this, is this sand? Yes, I'm selling sand in a jar. Anyways, slow days, slow hours. Well, you're for sure gonna get some slow hours. I'm gonna keep recording because I was pretty much on a roll, but you're gonna get some slow hours, especially if you do an 8-hour market. And if it's super hot outside or if it's super cold outside, you're gonna get some slow days. So one thing I want you guys to do is make sure you're always looking for reinvesting back into the business, and you don't rely on that income solely unless you know for a fact how much you're gonna make, and unless you've had time to build and you've had time to really analyze what is going on, right? So I will also, if it's slow, right? If you're dealing with a slow day, I have a bad issue of if nobody wants to try a sample, if it's slow, if I just stayed up really late the night before, which I don't really do that often anyway. I have a bad issue of saying, you know what, I'm gonna just give up today. I don't even feel like trying. A lot of people have, because for me, it's different, right? For other people, they can sit down, people can come to their booth and buy something. For me, I have to actually put in effort for each person I make a sale to, because other than that, they're not gonna know what it is. So yes, just be sure that you don't sit down and give up. You don't get discouraged if you're having a slow day. If another thing you could do if it's a very slow day is you can go to your booth mates and you could talk to them. Like, let's say there's nobody at the market. That's what I do. I go to the booth mates, I either buy their products, because some of your neighbors have very, very good products. Like, I buy this bread from this lady, it's amazing. I bought popcorn that I'm addicted to from these people, which I'm about to order pretty soon. Yeah, it's amazing. So I talk to them. Another thing you want to do is build relationships with these people, because these people can suggest you markets that you never heard of. And these markets, like all the markets that I've been to, is because somebody told me, oh, that's a very good market, you should go to that market. Like the market I'm at right now, it's 4 hours a day, but it's way better than the 8-hour market. And then the 3-hour market that I go to now, it's once a month, way better than the 8-hour market I was going to in the city. Because in the city, lots of tourists, not really trying to buy anything. Maybe we'll buy one item, call it a day. Yeah, that's the city markets. So just make sure you build relationships with people for collabs, more markets. Also, they understand what you're going through, because if you try to take the market and your stresses and you try to talk to a family member about it, they're not going to understand at all what you're going through. If you have a full-time job, you have to go to the market at the weekend, they're not going to understand, bro. But people, especially if you're stressed out and you're just, sometimes you just go through phases of getting stressed out of the market. People at the market will understand where you're coming from, and they make very, very good friends. I've made friends at the markets where we've eaten out before. After the market was over, they put me on game. Very, very good, right? Another thing you could do is, for example, if the market's slow, what some people like to do is work on something while they're at the market. So they'll work on their website, they'll work on their ads, they'll work on their customer list, they'll work on how their booth should look like. You should always, if you're at work and let's say it's slow, you should always be working towards something or doing something. And another thing you could do is you could just focus on the customers that do show up, right? Because there are going to be customers there slowly walking around. If you're unlike me, because it takes me a while to get discouraged. Like, let's say I just had 100 customers in the row that they just weren't trying to try any samples, then I'd just be like, okay, today's kind of a dud, and I'd give up. But normally I don't, right? So you just want to focus on the customers that are there if you are there. But I mean, like I said, what I like to do is I like to see what else I could be working on if it is a slow day, right? And I mean, another thing you can do is just plan for the next market. If the market is going so slow, you can just say, okay, you know what can I do on the next market to have a better market than this one? I don't want to encourage you guys to do this, but sometimes there's nothing wrong with just taking your ball home and calling it a day. Because sometimes you just have to, it's just not the day. I was just looking at TikTok and Shaq was talking about how he had 15 rough games in his career, and Chuck, these are basketball players, by the way, and Chuck, Charles Barkley was talking about, no, you've definitely had more bad games in your career. Some days, guys, it's just a bad day. The vibe might be off. The weather might be off. You might just be feeling sick. It's okay. Don't make it a habit, but it's okay some days to be like, today's not my day. I'm just gonna chill the rest of the day. But I really want you guys to try your hardest, do your best, and just try to make the most out of farmers markets until you scale online. But with that being said, that's the last I have for this video. It is the FM Guru, your one-stop shop for all your farmers market needs. If you have any questions, you know what to do. Subscribe, because we're trying to get to 100 before July. Thank you guys for watching.